What are some of the most common mistakes that beginner long exposure photographers make, and how can they be avoided? I think one of the biggest mistakes that people who get into long exposure photography make is that they think that they have to start pulling out filters immediately for any situation that they're in. And so a lot of times you can practice long exposure photography without any filters. You don't have to buy a lot of expensive equipment right out of the gate. You can practice long exposure photography at twilight and get, 2, 3, 4 second exposures easily without any filters. And so sometimes, if you're photographing a waterfall or something, you don't need a 2 second, 3 second, 4 second exposure. You need, a quarter of a second or half a second. So don't automatically go to the filters and the apps and start making calculations and making it harder on yourself. You definitely don't want to make things harder for yourself, because sometimes, the easy way is the fastest way. So just worry about your composition and the light, and really think about what the final effect is that you're aiming for. Are you just blurring a little bit of water, super simple, quarter second, half a second, or are you trying to blur the movement of the clouds? Is it going to take 30 seconds to blur those clouds depending on how fast they're moving, or is it going to take 5 minutes if they're moving really, really slow? So those are considerations that you need to think about when you are getting into long exposure photography, but try not to make things more complicated for yourself than you have to.